Howdy folks, Chase O'Dean here with Chase O'Dean Fishing. Howdy folks, and thanks for joining me today. Thanks for checking out the channel. If you get an opportunity, please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Put a comment down there. Let me know what you want to see next. None of these videos are professionally edited. I don't have that service. I'm looking forward to getting it. So there's a little bit of a lapse between when I'm posting videos, but I appreciate the love. I appreciate the support. Today, we are going to be talking about how I won $300 and a poorly timed chipmunk in my video. Fishing with this little guy right here. This is the X-Zone Mini Swammer with a Wicked Weights quality tungsten sidewinder. It's a locking swim bait jig head, and it is built for finesse tactics. This is the exact same setup that I had tied on, so this thing is chewed up, but it is the green pumpkin black fleck, and it's absolutely gorgeous. I love this bait. So the tournament itself was tough. There was approximately 35 anglers put into teams. It was divided between professionals with experience and amateurs trying to get into the sport of kayak bass fishing. And in the beginning of the tournament, they draw tickets, right? And so you get placed with somebody randomly. Pretty interesting format and a really, really fun event. I gotta admit, I had a lot of fun. It was great meeting the guys. The event was held by Washington Kayak Fishing, with Kayak Fishing Northwest kind of overseeing everything. It was very, very, very cool. Something I want to talk about real quick. This has a screw lock on it, which I absolutely love. So no matter what, this thing is going to stay on there, which I definitely needed during the tournament. So the tournament itself was on American Lake in the heart of the Pacific Northwest, and it was cold. It was cold for a few days before. There was a cold front that came in. I think it maxed out at, it was like 45 degrees. It was the warmest it got literally all day. When we started, it was around 40, maybe even a little colder. Water temperature was right around that same range. I never saw water temps get above 50 while I was out there. It's a beautiful natural lake. It gets almost up to 100 feet deep. So it's a deep, natural lake, very, very clear water. It has a ton of trout. It's got a lot of smallies. It's got a few largemouth, but I'll cut to real quick so you guys can look at the conditions. Okay, that's what we were facing. There was already a chop. Winds were gusting up to 30 miles per hour, and it was very rough. I asked my partner initially kind of what he wanted to do to start out the tournament. He didn't really have a game plan, so I said we're going to pedal straight into this wind. So my pedal drive on the Feel Free Lure V2 did exceptionally well, and we did exactly that. We went straight into the wind the entire morning, and we ended up in this cove that's called Little America, trying to catch some largemouth basically all morning. So one key thing that we did that I think was essential to where we finished at and how we ended up was that we were fishing the entire time. A lot of other teams I saw would pedal out somewhere and go fish that and go fish this, but in conditions like this, hot, cold, freezing, without doing much pre-fishing, no pre-fishing for me, unfortunately, it was really hard to pinpoint where they're going to be at. So I just wanted to make sure that we were fishing the entire time, and my partner was down for that strategy. So I'll do a quick cut to of Little America so you get kind of an idea of how big, the lake is in itself, and then also this little cove that we fished for a while. Enigma spinning setups ready to go. This right here was a big key player for me. It's a 6'11" medium fast action spinning phenom rod. This thing is tough. It's a tough rod. She don't break. You know, you can get a pretty good hook set on her. So I love this rod. I love it for sticking giant smallmouth, which you're gonna get to see here in a little bit. But my partner was kind of down just to do whatever. So we made a plan where we're gonna go into the wind, fish for largemouth, and then if we don't catch anything, with about 2 hours left, we're gonna go try to hit main lake points. So we came to a kind of pivotal decision point where we either had to go fish this hump over here or this kind of this ledge that's only like 200 yards away from the boat ramp. I mean, it is very close to where we put in. It was very close to where we were going to, where we're going to finish the tournament out, where the awards are and everything else. So we had to make that decision, and I figured that everyone had already fished the ledge, but it was kind of on the way to another spot, so why not, right? And as soon as we pull up to this ledge, I'm casting this little guy right here, the X-Zone Mini Swammer, Wicked Wade's Quality Tungsten Sidewinder, tactical P-line fluorocarbon. Sorry, pretty excited about this story. To a braid main line, and I get a boom, you know, and I know it's a smallie. Largemouth don't hit like that. It was definitely deep. I'm gonna grab this. I'm gonna run with it. I really wasn't tracking a bite, so there's an awkward hook set in there I'm not really too proud of. But that's the first fish of the day, first bite of the day. So I talked to my partner and I say, listen, you can go fish this hump. I'll give you the waypoint. You can go check it out if you want. I'm going to sit here. I'm going to fish this spot for the next hour and a half, 2 hours. I'm going to fish this spot until line's out. And he's like, I'm down for that. Let's do it. So I let the wind push me down this ledge and I cast this bad boy. And then I kind of go through my gauntlet, right? So I slow roll a spinnerbait and then I drop shot it. And then I do a really tiny kind of like finesse cross style jig, like really little. Like I said, I was almost on spinning gear exclusively the entire day. On one pass, the wind pushed me into the ledge. So I had about 5 feet of water behind me. And then it was bank. And instead of trying to fight the wind again and work back up, I started casting into deep water. Right, so I was sitting in 40-30, casting towards 5 to 10 and rolling it back. So this time I'm sitting in 5 to 10 and I'm casting towards 40. And I get a bite that it's just beautiful. It's perfect. It's perfect. I know the fish is on there. The hook set was textbook. I'll cut to that right now. This is the big fish of the tournament. Came in at 20.25 inches. Officially, unofficially, it was right around 21. The mouth was a little bit open, but I'm going to stop talking and cut to that right now so you can see this catch. Stay down. Stay down. Stay on and stay down. Let me get this one. 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 Keep that line nice and tight. Keep that line nice and tight. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. A little more. A little more. A little more. Keep that line nice and tight. X-Zone Swammer, baby. Boom. Mic drop. That's it. That fish was a tank. Well over 5 pounds. I know that much. I didn't have a scale on me, But it was an absolute monster. I'll make sure I put up some pictures so you can see it on the catch board, but it was absolutely great. This setup right here was pivotal in number one, placing third. So I got some hardware and picking up big bass of the tournament, which was a sweet payday. Some of the other things I had tied on throughout the day, my Destroyer Bait Company spinner bait, double willow, half-ounce, roll it deep. I had some success last year, this time of year on that lake fishing it, so I wanted to have it tied on. Drop shot, I used the 1/0 worm hook from Vector Hooks, and then I hooked that up to a Wicked Weights quality tungsten torpedo drop shot with a long leader. I thought the drop shot would definitely get him, but I think everyone out there was fishing a drop shot, which is why I think the swim bait at the end of the day did so good, because I didn't see anything like this tied on, maybe one or two, but I definitely didn't see it glued to anyone's hand like mine was throughout the day, which is pretty cool. A couple other things, I had crankbait from Sunshine State Custom Baits tied on, just a really nice square bill in kind of a bluegill pattern. That was my largemouth bait. I wanted to try to get a largemouth up shallow. I'd known they'd moved up earlier in the year, but they probably pushed back out with the cold weather coming through. Lessons learned there. But all in all, it was a fantastic event. It was a lot of fun. Conditions were rough. Of the 35 anglers, only 5 caught fish. Thereabouts, I think it was around 5, and only one guy caught 2 bass. And that's it. That's the entire tournament. So one 20-inch plus smallmouth bass got me and my partner, team event, 3rd place, and of course, big bass. So big shout out to Feel Free. My Lure V2 with pedal drive did an exceptional job. Absolutely love that system. And P-Line, you know, none of this would be possible without tactical fluorocarbon. When you're fishing in gin clear water, you actually absolutely have to use it. So, all right, guys, thanks for hearing my story. Thanks for tuning in. I'll make sure that I hashtag and I put all of the links to all of the equipment that I use that I talked about in this video down below in the description. Once again, please like, subscribe. It means a lot to me. You're helping me out a ton. Thank you. I appreciate you. Howdy, folks. Chase Dean here with Chase Dean Fishing.